Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English in Moments. I'm Elena, and I am so glad you are here today for this special Fluency Marathon. Today, we are going to conquer one of the most difficult but most important parts of natural English, phrasal verbs. If you want to sound natural and if you want to understand native speakers easily, you must know these. But you don't just need to know them. You need to be able to use them automatically without thinking. That is our goal today. This is not a grammar lesson. This is an active speaking workout. Here's how it will work. I will introduce a common phrasal verb. I will briefly explain what it means, and then we will practice using it together with several example sentences. Your job is to listen carefully and repeat every sentence after me, matching my pronunciation and intonation. Don't just listen. You must speak. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We have over 200 essential verbs to get through, so take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's begin. Our first phrasal verb is ask out. This means to invite someone on a date. Let's practice. Repeat after me. He finally asked her out to dinner. I was too nervous to ask him out. She's waiting for him to ask her out. Next, we have ask around. This means to ask many people the same question to find information. Let's practice. I don't know the answer, but I will ask around at work. We asked around, but no one has seen your dog. If you need a good plumber, I can ask around for you. Our next verb is back up. This has two common meanings. The first meaning is to support or help someone. Let's practice. My team will back me up in the meeting. Thank you for backing me up during the argument. He always backs up his friends. The second meaning for back up is to make a copy of computer data. Let's practice. You must back up your files regularly. I forgot to back up my photos and I lost them all. The system automatically backs up all the data every night. Next is back down. This means to withdraw from a position or to admit defeat in an argument. Let's practice. He knows he's wrong, but he's too proud to back down. The company refused to back down on its new policy. She eventually backed down and apologized. Our next phrasal verb is break down. This has a few meanings. The first and most common is when a machine or vehicle stops working. Let's practice. Our car broke down on the highway. The washing machine broke down again this morning. I'm worried my old computer is going to break down. A second meaning for breakdown is to become very upset or to cry. Let's practice. She broke down in tears when she heard the news. He broke down and confessed everything to the police. Oh, it was a very emotional meeting and several people broke down. A third meaning for breakdown is to divide something into smaller, simpler parts. Let's practice. Let's break down this problem into 3 manageable steps. The teacher broke down the complex theory for us. Can you break down the sales figures by region? Next is break in or break into. This means to enter a building illegally, usually by force. Let's practice. Someone broke into our house while we were on vacation. The thieves broke in through a window. My car was broken into last night. Following that is breakup. This means to end a romantic relationship. Let's practice. Sarah and Tom decided to break up. They broke up after dating for 5 years. Breaking up is always difficult. Our next verb is bring up. The first meaning is to mention or start talking about a subject. Let's practice. Please don't bring up politics at dinner. I'm glad you brought that up at the meeting. He brought up an interesting point. The second meaning for bring up is to raise a child. Let's practice. She was brought up by her grandparents. They are bringing up their children to be bilingual. It is a difficult challenge to bring up children well. Next, we have callback. This simply means to return a phone call. Let's practice. I'm busy right now. Can I call you back in an hour? She left a message, but she didn't call back. I need to call my doctor back today. Our next verb is call off. This means to cancel an event. Let's practice. They had to call off the wedding. The manager called off the meeting at the last minute. We called off the picnic because of the heavy rain. Next is calm down. This means to relax after being angry, excited, or upset. Let's practice. Please calm down and tell me what happened. I need a few minutes to calm down. He tried to calm the angry customer down. Let's practice catch up. This means to move faster to reach someone or something that is ahead of you. Let's practice. You go ahead. I will catch up with you later. I missed a week of class, so I have to catch up on my homework. She was walking so fast I couldn't catch up. Another meaning for catch up is to update each other on your recent news. Let's practice. It was so good to see you. We must catch up soon. Let's get a coffee and catch up. We spent the evening catching up on old times. Our next verb is check in or check into. This means to register at a hotel or an airport. Let's practice. We need to check in at least 2 hours before our flight. What time can we check into our hotel? They checked in and went straight to their room. The opposite of that is check out. This means to leave and pay for your stay at a hotel. Let's practice. We have to check out of the hotel before 11 a.m. Please return your room key when you check out. They checked out early this morning. Check out also has another common meaning: to look at or investigate something. Let's practice. You should check out that new restaurant. I'm going to check out that new book you recommended. Check out this amazing website I found. Next is cheer up. This means to feel happier or to make someone else feel happier. Let's practice. I brought you some flowers to cheer you up. She was feeling sad, so we tried to cheer her up. He needs to cheer up a little bit. Our next verb is come across. This means to find something or meet someone by chance. Let's practice. I came across an old photo while I was cleaning. She came across as very confident in the interview. I came across this interesting article online. Next is come up with. This means to think of an idea or a plan. Let's practice. She came up with a great idea for our new project. We need to come up with a solution to this problem. How did you come up with that? Our next verb is cut back on or cut down on. This means to consume less of something. Let's practice. I am trying to cut down on sugar. The doctor told him to cut back on fatty foods. We need to cut down on our spending, and our last verb for this first section is do over. This means to do something again from the beginning. Let's practice. The teacher made me do the assignment over. This report is not good enough. You'll have to do it over. I wish I could do that presentation over. Let's continue our workout with our next verb, do without. This means to manage or survive without something that you usually have. Let's practice. We had to do without electricity during the storm. I can't do without my morning coffee. Um, it's a luxury, so we can do without it if we need to. Next is dress up. This means to wear very nice or formal clothes or to wear a costume. Let's practice. We have to dress up for the wedding on Saturday. It's a casual party, so you don't need to dress up. The children dressed up as superheroes for Halloween. Our next verb is drop off. This means to take someone or something to a particular place, usually in a car, and leave them there. Let's practice. Can you drop me off at the airport? I need to drop off this package at the post office. She dropped her kids off at school. Next, we have dropout. This means to quit a course, a school, or a competition. Let's practice. He dropped out of college after only 1 year. She dropped out of the race because of an injury. It's a very difficult course, and many students drop out. Our next phrasal verb is eat out. This simply means to eat at a restaurant instead of at home. Let's practice. We're too tired to cook. Let's eat out tonight. How often do you eat out? Eating out all the time can become very expensive. Next is end up. This means to eventually arrive in a place or situation that you didn't expect. Let's practice. We got lost and ended up on the wrong side of town. He studied law but ended up becoming a musician. If you keep spending money like that, you'll end up in debt. Let's practice fall apart. This has two meanings. The first is to break into pieces. Let's practice. My old shoes are falling apart. The box got wet and just fell apart. This ancient book is falling apart. The second meaning for fall apart is to become very emotional and unable to cope. Let's practice. After he lost his job, he began to fall apart. She completely fell apart during the funeral. He's under too much stress and is starting to fall apart. Our next verb is fall down. This means to fall to the ground. Let's practice. He slipped on the ice and fell down. The old tree finally fell down in the storm. Be careful you don't fall down the stairs. Next is fall for. This also has two meanings. The first is to fall in love with someone. Let's practice. He fell for her the moment he saw her. I think my friend is falling for you. They fell for each other very quickly. The second meaning of fall for is to be tricked or deceived by a lie or a joke. Let's practice. It was an obvious scam. I can't believe you fell for it. He told a crazy story and she fell for it. Don't fall for his excuses. Our next verb is figure out. This means to understand something or to find the solution to a problem. Let's practice. I can't figure out how to use this new software. We need to figure out a new plan. He finally figured out what was wrong with the engine. Next, we have fill in or fill out. This means to write information in the blank spaces on a form or document. Let's practice. Please fill out this application form. You need to fill in your name and address. Can you help me fill this form out? Fill in also has another meaning, to provide information to someone who was absent. Let's practice. I missed the meeting. Can you fill me in? Let me fill you in on what happened. Please fill her in on the project details. Next is find out. This means to discover a piece of information. Let's practice. I need to find out what time the movie starts. She was devastated when she found out the truth. How did you find out about the surprise party? Our next verb is get along or get on. This means to have a good, friendly relationship with someone. Let's practice. I get along really well with my new boss. Do you get along with your sister? They don't get along. They are always arguing. Let's practice get away. This means to escape from a place or a person. Let's practice. The thieves managed to get away from the police. I just need to get away from the city for a few days. The dog got away from its owner. Next is get back. This means to return to a place. Let's practice. What time did you get back home last night? I can't wait to get back from my vacation. She left an hour ago. I wonder when she'll get back. We also use get back at someone. This means to take revenge on someone. Let's practice. He's trying to get back at her for what she said. She got back at him by ignoring him. It's childish to try and get back at people. Our next verb is get by. This means to manage to survive or live, usually with just enough money or resources. Let's practice. It's hard to get by on such a small salary. We don't have much, but we get by. How does she get by with no job? Next is get in or get into. This means to enter a place like a car, a building, or a school. Let's practice. Get in the car, we're leaving. He got into a very good university. How did the mouse get into the house? Our next verb is get off. This means to leave a bus, train, or plane. Let's practice. We need to get off at the next stop. I got off the train just in time. Tell me when to get off the bus. Next is get on. This means to board a bus, train, or plane. Let's practice. I think we got on the wrong bus. Please have your ticket ready before you get in the train. Hurry up and get on. Let's practice get over. This means to recover from an illness, a disappointment, or a sad experience. Let's practice. It took him months to get over the flu. She is still getting over their breakup. You need to get over your fear of flying. And our final verb for this section is get together. This means to meet socially. Let's practice. Let's get together for lunch next week. The whole family gets together for the holidays. We haven't gotten together in ages. Welcome back. Let's keep up the great work and continue with our phrasal verb marathon. Our next verb is get up. This simply means to get out of bed in the morning. Let's practice. I have to get up at 6 a.m. for work tomorrow. What time do you usually get up? He found it very hard to get up this morning. Next is give away. This means to give something to someone for free. Let's practice. He gave away all of his old books to the library. The store is giving away free samples today. As she gave her old clothes away to charity. Give away can also mean to reveal a secret. Let's practice. Don't give away the ending of the movie. His expression almost gave the surprise away. She didn't want to give away her true feelings. Our next verb is give back. This means to return something to the person who owns it. Let's practice. You can borrow my pen, but please give it back. I need to give these books back to the library. He never gave back the money he owed me. Next, we have give in. This means to finally agree to something you were resisting or to surrender. Let's practice. The children kept asking for ice cream and their mother finally gave in. The company refused to give in to the workers' demands. Don't give in to the pressure. Our next phrasal verb is give up. This is a very common one. It means to stop trying to do something or to quit a habit. Let's practice. The marathon was so hard, but he refused to give up. I've decided to give up smoking. Don't give up. I know you can do it. Let's practice go after. This means to pursue or try to get something. Let's practice. The police officer went after the thief. She decided to go after her dream of becoming a pilot. The company is going after a new younger market. Next is go against. This means to oppose or to be in disagreement with someone or something. Let's practice. He would never go against his family's wishes. The decision goes against everything we believe in. It's brave to go against the crowd. Our next verb is go ahead. This means to start or to proceed with something. Let's practice. Can I start the presentation? Yes, go ahead. Please go ahead with your story. 고비카ring. We have permission to go ahead with the project. Next, we have go on. This means to continue happening or doing something. Let's practice. The meeting went on for 3 hours. Please go on, I'm listening to you. What's going on here? Go on can also mean to happen. Let's practice. There's a big festival going on in the town center. I had no idea what was going on. It's hard to know what goes on in his mind. Our next verb is go out. This means to leave your house to go to a social event. Let's practice. Are you going out tonight? We haven't gone out for dinner in a long time. She goes out with her friends every weekend. Go out also means to stop burning like a light or a fire. Let's practice. The power went out during the storm. The candle went out. Suddenly all the lights went out. Next is go over. This means to review or examine something carefully. Let's practice. Let's go over the plan one more time. The teacher went over the answers with the students. I need to go over my notes before the test. Let's practice go through. This means to experience a difficult or unpleasant situation. Let's practice. She has gone through a lot this past year. It was the worst experience I've ever gone through. You are not alone in what you are going through. Go through can also mean to search or look through something. Let's practice. I went through my emails but couldn't find the message. She went through all her pockets looking for her keys. Our next verb is grow up. This means to become an adult. Let's practice. I grew up in a small town. What do you want to be when you grow up? He needs to grow up and take some responsibility. Next is hand in. This means to submit an assignment, report, or document. Let's practice. You must hand in your essay by Friday. I handed in my resignation yesterday. Afraid. Please hand in your keys when you leave. Our next verb is hand out. This means to distribute or give something to many people. Let's practice. The teacher handed out the worksheets to the class. They were handing out free flyers on the street. Can you help me hand out the invitations? Let's practice hang on. This means to wait for a short time. Let's practice. Hang on, I'm almost ready. Can you hang on for a minute? She asked me to hang on while she checked her computer. Next is hang out. This is a very common informal verb meaning to spend time relaxing or socializing. Let's practice. We usually hang out at the park on weekends. Where do you like to hang out with your friends? I'm just hanging out at home tonight. Our next verb is hang up. This means to end a phone call. Let's practice. I can't believe he hung up on me. I said goodbye and hung up the phone. Please don't hang up. Next is hold on. This is another way to say wait for a short time. Let's practice. Hold on. Let me check that for you. Please hold on. The manager will be with you shortly. Hold on. I think I forgot my wallet. Hold on can also mean to hold something tightly. Let's practice. Hold on tight. This ride is very fast. She held on to her hat in the wind. Our next verb is keep on. This means to continue doing something. Let's practice. He kept on talking even though no one was listening. Just keep on practicing and you will improve. Don't give up. Keep on trying. And our final verb for this section is keep up. This means to continue at the same rate or level. Let's practice. You are doing great work. Keep it up. I had to walk fast to keep up with her. It's hard to keep up with all the changes in technology. All right, let's jump right into the next set of verbs. Keep the shadowing strong. Our next phrasal verb is let down. This means to disappoint someone by failing to do what they expected. Let's practice. I really trusted him, but he let me down. Don't worry, I won't let you down. She felt like she had let her parents down. Next is look after. This means to take care of someone or something. Let's practice. Can you look after my cat while I'm on vacation? She has to look after her younger brother. It's important to look after your health. Our next verb is look down on. This means to think that you are better than someone else. Let's practice. She looks down on anyone who doesn't have a degree. It's not right to look down on people. He felt that his colleagues looked down on him. Next, we have look for. This is a very common verb meaning to search for someone or something. Let's practice. I'm looking for my keys. Have you seen them? What kind of job are you looking for? He's in the other room, looking for his shoes. Our next phrasal verb is look forward to. This means to be excited about something that is going to happen in the future. Let's practice. I'm really looking forward to our trip. She is looking forward to meeting you. Are you looking forward to the weekend? Let's practice look into. This means to investigate or get more information about a problem or situation. Let's practice. The police are looking into the cause of the accident. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will look into it. We need to look into this matter more closely. Next is look out. This is a warning, meaning to be careful or to watch for danger. Let's practice. Look out. There's a car coming. You need to look out for snakes when you're hiking here. Look out, the floor is wet. Our next verb is look over. This means to examine something quickly. Let's practice. Can you look over my report before I send it? He looked over the document and signed it. I'll look over your email for any spelling mistakes. Next, we have look up. This means to search for a piece of information, usually in a book or on a computer. Let's practice. If you don't know the word, look it up in the dictionary. I need to look up their address online. Can you look up the train times for me? Look up to is different. This means to admire and respect someone. Let's practice. He has always looked up to his father. She is a role model that many young girls look up to. I really look up to my mentor. Our next verb is make out. This has two common meanings. The first is to see or hear something with difficulty. Let's practice. It was so foggy I could barely make out the road. Can you make out what he is saying? I couldn't make out the sign in the dark. The second meaning of make out is an informal term for kissing passionately. Let's practice. I saw them making out at the party. Treat. They were making out in the back of the movie theater. Next, we have makeup. This also has several meanings. The first is to invent a story or an excuse. Let's practice. He made up a crazy story about being sick. Is that true? Or are you just making that up? Kids often make up imaginary friends. A second meaning for makeup is to put on cosmetics. Let's practice. She spends a long time making up in the morning. He wore a costume and made up his face to look like a clown. A third meaning for makeup is to become friends again after an argument. Let's practice. They had a big fight, but they finally made up. I'm tired of arguing. Let's just make up. She and her sister quickly made up. And a fourth meaning for makeup is to form a part of a whole. Let's practice. Women make up more than half of the workforce. This class is made up of students from all over the world. Next is make up for. This means to compensate for something bad. Let's practice. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. I'll make it up to you. He bought her flowers to make up for being late. This beautiful weather makes up for all the rain we had. Our next verb is pass away. This is a polite, gentle way to say to die. Let's practice. Her grandfather passed away last year. She was very sad when her dog passed away. He passed away peacefully in his sleep. Next is pass out. This means to faint or lose consciousness. Let's practice. It was so hot in the room that he passed out. She felt dizzy right before she passed out. I was so tired, I almost passed out. Let's practice payback. This means to return money that you owe. Let's practice. I promise to pay you back next week. He finally paid back the loan to the bank. When can you pay me back? Next is pay off. This means to finish paying all the money that is owed for something. Let's practice. We finally paid off our mortgage. I can't wait to pay off my student loans. It took him 10 years to pay off his car. Payoff also means for a plan or action to be successful and bring good results. Let's practice. All her hard work finally paid off. His risky investment paid off in the end. I'm hoping this new strategy will pay off. Our next verb is pick up. This has many meanings. The first is to lift something from the ground. Let's practice. Please pick up that piece of paper. He picked up his suitcase and left. I can't pick up this box, it's too heavy. A second meaning for pick up is to collect someone, usually in a car. Let's practice. Can you pick me up from the station at 8 p.m.? I have to pick my kids up from school. A third meaning for pick up is to learn a new skill or information. Let's practice. She picked up Spanish very quickly when she lived in Madrid. I picked up a few new ideas at the conference. And our final verb for this section is point out. This means to draw attention to a piece of information. Let's practice. He pointed out the mistake in my report. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Can you point out which building is yours? You are doing an amazing job. We are making serious progress. Let's keep this momentum going with our next set of phrasal verbs. Our next verb is put away. This means to put something in its correct or usual place. Let's practice. Please put away your clothes after you wash them. He put the milk away in the refrigerator. Can you ask the children to put away their toys? Next, we have put down. This has a few meanings. The first is to place something you are holding onto a surface. Let's practice. You can put your bag down on that chair. He put down his pen and looked at me. That's heavy. Put it down for a minute. A second meaning for put down is to criticize or insult someone. Let's practice. He's always putting down his colleagues. It's very unprofessional. I hate it when you put me down in front of other people. She never has anything nice to say and is always putting others down. A third, sadder meaning for put down is to end an animal's life painlessly, usually because it is old or very sick. Let's practice. We had to put our old cat down last week. It's a very difficult decision to put a pet down. Our next phrasal verb is put off. This means to postpone or delay an event or activity. Let's practice. We had to put off the meeting until next Friday. A break. Don't put off your homework until the last minute. Wait, they're putting off their wedding until next year. Next is put on. This also has several meanings. The first is to place clothes or accessories on your body. Let's practice. It's cold outside. Put on a jacket. He put on his glasses and started to read. She's putting on her makeup. A second meaning for put on is to gain weight. Let's practice. I think I put on a few pounds over the holidays. He's put on a lot of weight since he stopped exercising. A third meaning for put on is to organize an event or a show. Let's practice. The local theater is putting on a Shakespeare play. They put on a fantastic concert for the community. Next, we have put out. This means to extinguish a fire or a light. Let's practice. The firefighters worked hard to put out the fire. Please put out your cigarette before you come inside. Did you put out the lights in the living room? Our next verb is put up with. This is a very common one. It means to tolerate or accept an annoying situation or person. Let's practice. I don't know how she puts up with his bad temper. I will not put up with this kind of behavior. We had to put up with the noise from the construction site. Let's practice run into. This means to meet someone unexpectedly. Let's practice. I ran into my old teacher at the supermarket. It was great to run into you yesterday. Guess who I ran into at the mall? Next is run out of. This means to use all of something so that there is nothing left. Let's practice. We ran out of milk. I need to buy more. I'm afraid we're running out of time. The car ran out of gas on the highway. Our next verb is run away. This means to escape or to leave a place secretly. Let's practice. The child tried to run away from home. The horse got scared and ran away. You can't just run away from your problems. Next is run over. This means to hit someone or something with a vehicle. Let's practice. He was very upset after he accidentally ran over a rabbit. Be careful or you might run over that bicycle. I almost got run over by a bus. Run over also means to review something quickly. Let's practice. Can you quickly run over the main points again? Let's run over the details of the plan. Our next phrasal verb is set up. This has a few meanings. The first is to arrange or organize something. Let's practice. We need to set up a meeting for next week. She set up her own business last year. They set up a committee to investigate the problem. A second meaning for set up is to assemble or build something. Let's practice. Can you help me set up the new printer? It took them hours to set up the tent. He set up the sound system for the party. Next, we have show off. This means to try to impress people by boasting about your abilities or possessions. Let's practice. He's always showing off his new expensive car. She was showing off her perfect test score. There's no need to show off. Our next verb is show up. This means to arrive or appear at a place. Let's practice. He finally showed up an hour late for the meeting. We waited for him, but he never showed up. What time did she show up at the party? Let's practice shut up. This is a rude or impatient way to tell someone to stop talking. Let's practice. He told his brother to shut up. Oh, shut up, she said angrily. It's very impolite to tell someone to shut up. Next is sit down. This is a simple one, meaning to move into a sitting position. Let's practice. Please sit down and make yourself comfortable. He sat down on the sofa. We were all sitting down at the table for dinner. Our next verb is stand up. This means to move from a sitting or lying position to a stand-in position. Let's practice. The student stood up when the teacher entered. I've been sitting all day. I need to stand up and stretch. He stood up and gave a speech. Stand up can also mean to fail to meet someone you had arranged to meet. Let's practice. I waited for an hour, but he stood me up. I can't believe she stood you up on your first date. Next is switch on or turn on. This means to start a machine or light. Let's practice. Can you please switch on the light? He turned on the television to watch the news. I forgot to turn on the oven. Our next verb is switch off or turn off. This is the opposite, meaning to stop a machine or light. Let's practice. Please turn off the TV before you go to bed. Don't forget to switch off the lights. He turned off his computer and left the office. Let's practice take after. This means to be similar to an older family member in appearance or character. Let's practice. He really takes after his father. She takes after her mother's side of the family. I wonder who the baby will take after. And our final verb for this section is take off. This has a few meanings. The first is for an airplane to leave the ground. Let's practice. The plane took off on time. What time does our flight take off? Please remain seated while the plane is taking off. A second meaning for take off is to remove an item of clothing. Let's practice. Please take off your shoes at the door. He took off his wet coat. It was hot, so I took off my sweater. A third meaning for take off is to become successful or popular very quickly. Let's practice. Her career really took off after that movie. The new product took off and sales were huge. Welcome back to our Fluency Marathon. We are officially past the halfway point and you are doing fantastic work. Let's keep building that muscle memory. Our next phrasal verb is take out. This has two main meanings. The first is to remove something from a place, like a bag or a pocket. Let's practice. He took out his wallet and paid the bill. Corey, can you take the trash out? She took a book out of her bag to read. A second meaning for take out is to get food from a restaurant to eat at home, also known as takeaway. Let's practice. We're too tired to cook. Let's get takeout. I'm gonna pick up some Chinese takeout. R4. Do you want to eat in or get takeout? Next is take over. This means to take control of something like a company or a job. Let's practice. The new manager will take over the team next week. Ha! The large corporation took over the small family business. She will take over as CEO when he retires. Our next verb is talk back. This means to reply rudely to someone, especially someone in authority. Let's practice. It is very disrespectful to talk back to your teachers. His parents were angry with him for talking back. Don't you dare talk back to me like that. Next, we have talk over. This means to discuss a problem or a situation with someone. Let's practice. We need to talk over our plans for the vacation. Before I make a decision, I need to talk it over with my wife. They sat down to talk over their differences. Our next phrasal verb is think over. This means to consider something carefully before making a decision. Let's practice. That's a serious offer. I need some time to think it over. Don't give me an answer now. Think it over for a few days. He thought over the proposal and decided to accept. Let's practice throw away or throw out. This simply means to get rid of something in the trash. Let's practice. Don't throw away that newspaper. I haven't read it yet. I need to throw out these old, expired groceries. She threw away all his old letters. Next is try on. This means to put on an item of clothing to see if it fits or looks good. Let's practice. I'm going to the fitting room to try on these jeans. You should always try on shoes before you buy them. Did you try on that dress? Our next verb is try out. This means to test something new to see if it is effective or useful. Let's practice. The company is trying out a new marketing strategy. I'm going to try out this new recipe tonight. Can I try out your new camera? Next, we have turnaround. This means to move or rotate so you are facing the opposite direction. Let's practice. Turn around and let me see the back of that shirt. He turned around when he heard his name called. The car turned around and went back the way it came. Our next phrasal verb is turn down. This has two meanings. The first is to reject or refuse an offer or request. Let's practice. He was offered the job, but he turned it down. She turned down his invitation to the party. I had to turn down the offer because the salary was too low. A second meaning for turn down is to reduce the volume or heat of something. Let's practice. Can you please turn down the music? It's too loud. I'm cold. Don't turn down the heat. He turned the volume down so he could hear the phone. Next is turn into. This means to change or transform into something different. Let's practice. The small seed turned into a beautiful flower. The caterpillar turned into a butterfly. Their friendly discussion turned into a heated argument. Our next verb is turn up. This has two meanings. The first is to increase the volume or heat of something. Let's practice. I can't hear the TV. Can you turn it up? Please turn up the heat. It's freezing in here. Turn the music up. I love this song. A second meaning for turn up is to arrive or appear somewhere, often unexpectedly. Let's practice. He finally turned up at the party at midnight. My lost keys turned up in my coat pocket. We were worried, but he turned up safe and sound. Let's practice use up. This means to use all of a supply of something. Let's practice. We used up all the milk, so I need to buy more. I used up all my energy cleaning the house. Did you use up all the printer paper? Next is wake up. This means to stop sleeping. Let's practice. I woke up very early this morning. What time do you usually wake up? The loud noise woke me up. Our next verb is warm up. This means to prepare your body for exercise by doing gentle stretches. Let's practice. It's very important to warm up before you go running. Afrai, the team is warming up on the field. Let's do a few stretches to warm up. Warm up also means to heat food that has already been cooked. Let's practice. I'm going to warm up last night's leftovers for lunch. Can you warm up the soup for me? Next is watch out. This is a warning, just like look out, meaning to be careful. Let's practice. Watch out. You almost stepped in that puddle. You need to watch out for pickpockets in this area. Watch out for that broken glass on the floor. Our next phrasal verb is wear off. This means for the effect of something like a feeling or a medicine to gradually disappear. Let's practice. The medicine is starting to wear off. The excitement of the first day quickly wore off. My headache is back. The painkillers must have worn off. Next is wear out. This means to use something so much that it becomes old, damaged, or unusable. Let's practice. I wear these shoes so much, I'm starting to wear them out. He wore out his favorite t-shirt. Playing basketball all day really wore him out. Wear out can also mean to make someone feel very tired. Let's practice. The long hike completely wore us out. I'm worn out from all that studying. Shopping all day wore me out. Let's practice work out. This has several meanings. The first is to do physical exercise. Let's practice. I try to work out at the gym 3 times a week. He was working out with weights. It was a really good workout. A second meaning for workout is to find a solution to a problem. Let's practice. We need to work out a way to save more money. Don't worry, we can work this out. They're trying to work out their differences. A third meaning for workout is to be successful or end in a positive way. Let's practice. I'm so happy their marriage is working out. I hope your new job works out for you. Things didn't work out as we had planned. And our final verb for this section is write down. This means to write information on a piece of paper. Let's practice. Let me write down your phone number. He wrote down all the instructions. Can you write down the address for me? Welcome back. We are now in the final stretch of our 250 verb marathon. Your dedication is incredible. Let's power through this next set. Our next phrasal verb is act out. This means to behave badly, often because you are upset or bored. Let's practice. The child started acting out in class because he wanted attention. He's been acting out ever since his parents separated. Please don't act out. Just tell me what's wrong. Next is add up. This means to make sense or to seem reasonable. Let's practice. His story just doesn't add up. I think he's lying. Something about this situation isn't adding up. We reviewed the evidence and it all added up. Add up also means to find the total sum of numbers. Let's practice. Can you add up these numbers for me? He quickly added up the bill. When I added it all up, it was more expensive than I thought. Our next verb is back off. This means to move backward, away from someone or something, often in a threatening situation. Let's practice. He saw the angry dog and slowly backed off. Back off and give me some space, she said. The police told the crowd to back off. Next, we have blow up. This has a few meanings. The first is to explode. Let's practice. The bomb blew up, causing massive damage. They had to blow up the old building. The factory blew up in a terrible accident. A second meaning for blow up is to inflate something with air like a balloon. Let's practice. We need to blow up a lot of balloons for the party. Can you help me blow up this air mattress? He blew up the tire. A third, informal meaning for blow up is to suddenly become very angry. Let's practice. He completely blew up at me for being late. I'm sorry I blew up. I'm just under a lot of stress. My dad is going to blow up when he sees this. Our next phrasal verb is bring on. This means to cause something to happen, usually something unpleasant. Let's practice. The cold weather brought on his cough. Stress can bring on a headache. What brought on this sudden change in his behavior? Let's practice call on. This means to ask someone to do something or to use someone's skills. Let's practice. The teacher always calls on the smartest students. I may need to call on you for help with this project. The president called on the nation to unite. Next is carry on. This means to continue doing something. Let's practice. Please carry on with your work while I'm gone. They carried on talking as if I wasn't there. Despite the rain, they carried on with the game. Our next verb is carry out. This means to perform or complete a task or an order. Let's practice. The soldier carried out his orders perfectly. We need to carry out more research on this topic. The experiment was carried out by a team of scientists. Next, we have clear up. This has two meanings. The first is for the weather to improve. Let's practice. It's raining now, but I hope it clears up this afternoon. The sky cleared up and the sun came out. Let's wait for the weather to clear up. A second meaning for clear up is to explain or solve a misunderstanding. Let's practice. Thank you for clearing up that confusion. We need to clear up this misunderstanding right now. He cleared up the details of the new policy. Our next phrasal verb is come apart. This means to break into pieces. Let's practice. The old chair just came apart when I sat on it. The book is so old it's coming apart. The seams of the dress are coming apart. Next is come down with. This means to start to get sick with an illness. Let's practice. I think I'm coming down with a cold. She came down with the flu and had to miss work. Everyone in the office is coming down with something. Let's practice count on. This means to rely or depend on someone. Let's practice. You can always count on me for help. I'm counting on you to be there on time. She's a great friend. I know I can count on her. Our next verb is cut in. This means to interrupt a conversation or an activity. Let's practice. I'm sorry to cut in, but I have an urgent message. He kept cutting in while I was trying to explain. May I cut in? She asked. Cut in also means to pull your car in front of another car suddenly. Let's practice. That white car just cut in on me. It's very dangerous to cut in like that. Next is cut off. This has several meanings. The first is to remove something by cutting. Let's practice. He cut off a large piece of bread. She cut off all her hair. Can you cut the price tag off this shirt? A second meaning for cut off is to stop the supply of something, like electricity or money. Let's practice. They cut off our power because we didn't pay the bill. His parents cut him off financially. The water supply was cut off. A third meaning for cut off is to interrupt a speaker. Let's practice. The connection was bad and we got cut off. Oh, he kept cutting me off in the middle of my sentence. Our next verb is deal with. This means to handle or manage a situation or a person. Let's practice. This is a difficult problem. How should we deal with it? I have to deal with a lot of customer complaints in my job. She knows how to deal with difficult people. Next is dig up. This means to find information by searching hard or to physically dig something out of the ground. Let's practice. The reporter managed to dig up some secret information. I had to dig up my old college notes. They are digging up the old pipes in our street. Let's practice dream up. This means to invent a new idea or plan, often one that is creative or unusual. Let's practice. What crazy idea will he dream up next? She dreamed up a fantastic solution to the problem. This is a very creative plan. How did you dream it up? Next is face up to. This means to accept a difficult or unpleasant reality. Let's practice. You need to face up to your responsibilities. He has to face up to the fact that he failed. It's time to face up to the truth. And our final verb for this section is fall through. This means for a plan or arrangement to fail. Let's practice. Our travel plans fell through at the last minute. The deal fell through because they couldn't agree on the price. I hope our plans for the weekend don't fall through. You have made it to the final quarter of our marathon. This is where the real fluency is built, in these moments of dedication. Let's finish strong. Our next phrasal verb is fill up. This means to make something completely full. Let's practice. I need to stop at the gas station and fill up the car. Can you please fill up my water bottle? The stadium quickly filled up with excited fans. Next is fool around. This means to behave in a silly or playful way, or to waste time. Let's practice. Stop fooling around and get back to work. The kids were laughing and fooling around at the pool. We were just fooling around. We didn't mean to break it. Our next verb is get across. This means to successfully communicate an idea or feeling. Let's practice. I'm not sure I'm getting my point across. He found it difficult to get his ideas across to the team. The passion in her speech really got across to the audience. Next, we have get around. This means to travel or move from place to place. Let's practice. It's very easy to get around the city using the subway. How do you get around without a car? She gets around by bicycle. Get around also means to avoid a problem or rule. Let's practice. Is there any way to get around this rule? Right. They found a loophole to get around the tax. Our next phrasal verb is get at. This means to imply or suggest something. Let's practice. I'm not sure what you're getting at. What are you trying to get at? He was getting at the fact that we need to work harder. Let's practice get away with. This means to do something wrong or bad and not be punished for it. Let's practice. He cheated on the test and got away with it. You'll never get away with this. She can't keep lying and expect to get away with it. Next is get back to. This means to contact someone again later to give them information. Let's practice. I don't have the answer right now, but I will get back to you. Clary, please get back to me by the end of the day. She said she would get back to me about the job offer. Our next verb is get rid of. This means to throw away, sell, or destroy something you no longer want. Let's practice. We need to get rid of this old sofa. I can't seem to get rid of this cough. He's trying to get rid of his old car. Next, we have give off. This means to produce and send out something like heat, a smell, or light. Let's practice. The flowers gave off a beautiful scent. The fire was giving off a lot of smoke. This old engine is giving off a strange smell. Our next phrasal verb is go by. This means to pass, usually in reference to time. Let's practice. The years go by so quickly. As time went by, they became close friends. It was a hard time, but things got easier as the weeks went by. Go by also means to follow or be guided by something. Let's practice. I always go by the rules. That's a good plan to go by. He's a good person to go by in this situation. Next is go into. This means to discuss or examine something in detail. Let's practice. We don't have time to go into the details right now. The report goes into the history of the company. I'd like to go into this topic more deeply. Our next verb is go without. This is similar to do without, meaning to live without something you need or usually have. Let's practice. How long can a person go without sleep? They had to go without food for 3 days. I had to go without coffee this morning. Let's practice grow out of. This means to become too big for an item of clothing. Let's practice. My son grows out of his shoes every few months. She has already grown out of her new jacket. Grow out of also means to stop doing a habit as you become older. Let's practice. He used to be a very shy child, but he grew out of it. Most children grow out of biting their nails. Next is hold back. This has two meanings. The first is to stop yourself from doing or saying something. Let's practice. She wanted to laugh, but she held back. He held back his anger. Don't hold back. Tell me what you really think. A second meaning for hold back is to prevent someone or something from making progress. Let's practice. His lack of confidence is holding him back in his career. The bad weather held back the construction. Our next verb is iron out. This means to solve small problems or disagreements. Let's practice. We need to iron out a few details before we sign the contract. They are meeting to iron out their differences. The team ironed out the bugs in the software. Next, we have join in. This means to participate in an activity that is already happening. Let's practice. They were playing a game, so we decided to join in. Please join in the discussion at any time. Everyone joined in to sing Happy Birthday. Our next phrasal verb is jot down. This means to write something down quickly. Let's practice. Let me jot down your address. I jotted down a few ideas in my notebook. Can you jot down the main points of the meeting? Let's practice keep from. This means to prevent or stop someone from doing something. Let's practice. I tried to keep him from making a mistake. What's keeping you from applying for the job? He couldn't keep from smiling. Next is kick out. This is an informal verb meaning to force someone to leave a place. Let's practice. The bouncer kicked him out of the club for fighting. His landlord is threatening to kick him out. She was kicked out of the meeting. Our next verb is lay off. This means to end someone's employment, usually because there is not enough work. Let's practice. The company had to lay off 50 workers. He was laid off from his job last month. They are afraid of being laid off. Next is live on. This means to have a particular amount of money to buy what you need. Let's practice. It's difficult to live on the minimum wage. They are living on his small pension. I'm not sure what we will live on. Live on also means to continue to live or exist. Let's practice. His memory will live on forever. The legend of the hero lives on. Our next verb is make for. This means to move or travel toward a place. Let's practice. When the storm started, we made for the nearest shelter. Let's make for the exit. They made for the hills as soon as they escaped. Next is mix up. This means to confuse two or more things or people. Let's practice. I always mix up their names. They look so similar. He mixed up the dates and missed the meeting. Don't mix up those two bottles. And our final verb for this section is pass on. This means to give someone a piece of information that you have received. Let's practice. Can you please pass on this message to your boss? He passed on the news to his family. I'll be sure to pass on your compliments. Welcome back. We are in the home stretch now with only 50 verbs remaining. You have come so far, and this is the final push. Let's finish this marathon together. Our next phrasal verb is put up. This means to build or erect something. Let's practice. They are putting up a new apartment building down the street. We need to put up a fence in our backyard. He put up a notice on the bulletin board. Next is rule out. This means to exclude or eliminate a possibility. Let's practice. The police have ruled out suicide. We can't rule out the possibility of a mistake. The doctor ran tests to rule out any serious conditions. Our next verb is see about. This means to check on something or to make arrangements for something. Let's practice. I need to see about getting my visa renewed. Can you see about booking us a flight? He's gone to see about the noise coming from next door. Next, we have see off. This means to go to an airport, train station, or bus stop to say goodbye to someone who is leaving. Let's practice. My whole family came to see me off at the airport. We are going to see our friends off. It was sad to see her off. Our next phrasal verb is see through. This means to realize the truth about someone or something, especially when they are trying to deceive you. Let's practice. I can see right through his lies. She saw through his friendly act and realized he was not sincere. It was a clever scam, but the police saw through it. Let's practice see-do. This means to take care of, manage, or deal with something. Let's practice. Don't worry about the reservations. I will see to it. Can you see to the guest while I check on dinner? Please see to it that this task is completed today. Next is settle down. This has two meanings. The first is to become calm or quiet. Let's practice. The teacher asked the excited children to settle down. Let's settle down and watch the movie. The audience settled down as the play began. A second meaning for settle down is to adopt a more stable and permanent lifestyle, often by getting married and buying a house. Let's practice. After traveling the world, he decided it was time to settle down. They are a lovely couple. I hope they settle down together. Our next verb is show around. This means to give someone a tour of a new place. Let's practice. Let me show you around the office. The guide showed us around the historic castle. Welcome to our home. I'll show you around. Next, we have shut down. This means to close a business or to stop a machine from operating. Let's practice. The factory was shut down due to a lack of orders. You need to shut down your computer properly. The website was shut down by the authorities. Our next phrasal verb is sign up. This means to register or agree to join something like a class or a service. Let's practice. I decided to sign up for the yoga class. You can sign up for our newsletter online. How many people have signed up for the event? Let's practice sleep in. This means to sleep later than your usual time. Let's practice. I love to sleep in on Saturdays. We don't have work tomorrow, so we can sleep in. I'm so tired. I just want to sleep in. Next is sort out. This means to organize things that are in a mess or to solve a problem. Let's practice. I need to sort out all the clothes in my closet. We had a long talk to sort out our disagreement. Can you help me sort out this pile of paperwork? Our next verb is speak up. This means to speak in a louder voice. Let's practice. I can't hear you in the back. Please speak up. Speak up, said the old man. You need to speak up during your presentation so everyone can hear you. Next, we have stand by. This has two meanings. The first is to be ready for action or to wait. Let's practice. The emergency services are standing by. Please stand by for an important announcement. A second meaning for stand by is to support or be loyal to someone, especially in a difficult time. Let's practice. She stood by her husband throughout the entire trial. I will stand by your decision, whatever it is. A true friend is one who stands by you. Our next phrasal verb is stand for. This has two meanings. The first is for letters to represent a word or idea. Let's practice. CEO stands for Chief Executive Officer. What do the letters UN stand for? The dove stands for peace. A second meaning for stand for is to tolerate or accept behavior, almost always used in the negative. Let's practice. I will not stand for this kind of rude behavior. The teacher will not stand for cheating. He won't stand for any criticism. Next is stand out. This means to be very noticeable or impressive. Let's practice. With her bright red hair, she really stands out in a crowd. His performance stood out as the best of the night. We need a design that will stand out. Let's practice take apart. This means to disassemble or separate something into its different pieces. Let's practice. He likes to take apart old clocks to see how they work. The mechanic had to take the engine apart. I took the phone apart, but I can't put it back together. Our next verb is take back. This has two meanings. The first is to return an item to a store. Let's practice. These shoes don't fit. I need to take them back. I'm taking this shirt back to the shop. A second meaning for take back is to retract a statement you made. Let's practice. I'm sorry I said that. I take it back. You can't just take back those hurtful words. I wish I could take back what I said. Next is take in. This means to understand or absorb information. Let's practice. It was a lot of information to take in at once. He listened carefully, trying to take in every word. I was too shocked to take in the news. Take in also means to deceive someone. Let's practice. We were all taken in by his convincing story. Don't be taken in by his charm. Our next verb is tell off. This means to scold or speak angrily to someone about something they did wrong. Let's practice. The teacher told the student off for being disruptive. My boss told me off for being late. She was really angry and told him off. Let's practice think back. This means to recall a memory from the past. Let's practice. When I think back on my childhood, I feel very happy. Try to think back to the last time you saw your keys. Thinking back, I realize I should have done things differently. Next is touch on. This means to mention a subject briefly during a talk or discussion. Let's practice. The presentation touched on the history of the company. We didn't have time to go into detail, so we only touched on the issue. He touched on several important points. Our next verb is turn back. This means to stop your journey and return to where you started. Let's practice. The weather became so bad that we had to turn back. It's getting dark. I think we should turn back. We've gone too far to turn back now. And our final verb for this section is wind up. This means to end up in a particular situation or place, usually an unplanned one. Let's practice. If you keep spending money like that, you'll wind up with no savings. We got lost and wound up on the other side of the city. He wound up working for his father's company. Welcome to the final section of our 250 phrasal verb fluency marathon. You are so close to the finish line. Let's make this last set the strongest one yet. Our next phrasal verb is work through. This means to deal with a problem or a set of issues, often emotional ones. Let's practice. They need to work through their problems with a counselor. It took him a long time to work through his grief. Wait, we have a few issues to work through. Next is wrap up. This means to finish or complete a task or a meeting. Let's practice. Let's try to wrap up this meeting by 4 p.m. It's getting late, so let's wrap things up. She wrapped up her presentation with a strong conclusion. Our next verb is zone out. This is an informal verb meaning to stop paying attention and think about nothing. Let's practice. I must have zoned out. I didn't hear what you said. He just zones out in front of the TV for hours. I often zone out on my commute to work. Next, we have zip up. This means to fasten a piece of clothing using a zipper. Let's practice. It's cold. Make sure you zip up your jacket. He zipped up his bag and left. I can't zip up this dress. Can you help me? Our next phrasal verb is zero in on. This means to focus all of your attention on one thing. Let's practice. The detective zeroed in on the most important clue. We need to zero in on our target audience. She zeroed in on the main weakness in his argument. Let's practice track down. This means to find someone or something after a long and difficult search. Let's practice. The police finally tracked down the suspect. I managed to track down a rare copy of the book. It took me ages to track down his phone number. Next is stay up. This means to not go to bed at your usual time. Let's practice. I had to stay up late to finish my project. The children wanted to stay up and watch the movie. We stayed up all night talking. Our next verb is stick with. This means to continue doing something or using someone. Let's practice. I'm going to stick with my original plan. They decided to stick with their current supplier. If you stick with this exercise plan, you will see results. Next, we have stick to. This is similar, meaning to adhere to a plan, decision, or promise. Let's practice. You have to stick to the diet if you want to lose weight. She stuck to her principles and refused the offer. Let's stick to the schedule. Our next phrasal verb is show through. This means to be visible from underneath another surface. Let's practice. His white shirt was so thin that his skin showed through. The old paint color is showing through. Her frustration began to show through. Let's practice settle for. This means to accept something that is not as good as you wanted because it's all you can get. Let's practice. She had to settle for a smaller apartment than she wanted. Don't settle for second best. He settled for a job that he didn't really enjoy. Next is save up. This means to save money, usually for a specific purpose. Let's practice. I'm saving up for a new car. She's saving up to go on vacation. It took them 2 years to save up for a house deposit. Our next verb is rip off. This is an informal verb meaning to charge someone too much money or something. Let's practice. The taxi driver totally ripped us off. $20 for a sandwich? That's a rip-off. Be careful not to get ripped off in the tourist areas. Next, we have read over. This means to read something from beginning to end to check for errors. Let's practice. Please read over your essay before you hand it in. I'm just going to read over my notes. He read over the contract carefully. Our next phrasal verb is pull over. This means to move your vehicle to the side of the road and stop. Let's practice. The police officer signaled for him to pull over. I'm going to pull over at the next rest stop. She pulled the car over to answer her phone. Let's practice pull through. This means to survive a very difficult situation or a serious illness. Let's practice. It was a very serious operation, but he managed to pull through. The company is struggling, but we believe it will pull through. With her family's support, she pulled through. Next is opt out of. This means to choose not to participate in something. Let's practice. You can opt out of the marketing emails at any time. He decided to opt out of the company pension plan. Several members opted out of the meeting. Our next verb is pass off as. This means to pretend to be something or someone else in order to deceive. Let's practice. He tried to pass off the fake painting as a real one. She passed herself off as a famous journalist. You can't pass this off as your own work. Next, we have own up. This means to confess or admit that you did something wrong. Let's practice. He finally owned up to breaking the window. No one owned up to eating the last piece of cake. You need to own up to your mistakes. Our next phrasal verb is lighten up. This is an informal way to tell someone to be less serious or stressed. Let's practice. Lighten up. It was just a joke. He needs to lighten up and enjoy life more. It was a stressful meeting and we all need to lighten up. Let's practice let in. This means to allow someone or something to enter. Let's practice. Can you open the door and let the cat in? They wouldn't let him into the club. She opened the window to let in some fresh air. Next is hold up. This has two meanings. The first is to cause a delay. Let's practice. We were held up in traffic for over an hour. What's the holdup? I'm sorry I'm late. I got held up at work. A second meaning for hold up is to rob a place using a weapon. Let's practice. The bank was held up this morning. He used a fake gun to hold up the store. Our next verb is go for. This means to choose an option. Let's practice. What are you having? I think I'll go for the chicken. He's going for the more expensive option. That's a great opportunity. You should go for it. And our final phrasal verb of the marathon, number 250, is drift apart. This means to slowly become less close or friendly with someone over time. Let's practice. We were best friends in college, but we slowly drifted apart. It's sad when old friends drift apart. They had been married for 20 years before they started to drift apart. And with that, you did it. You have completed the 250 most common phrasal verbs fluency marathon. Take a deep breath. That was an incredible accomplishment. Your focus and dedication for this entire session are amazing. Remember, this is not just about memorizing a list. By listening and shadowing me today, you have started to build the deep, automatic muscle memory that is the real secret to fluency. You are training your mouth, your ears, and your brain to use these verbs as naturally as you use words in your own native language. But don't stop here. This audio marathon is a tool for you. Come back and practice again. You don't have to do it all at once. Practice 1 or 2 sections at a time. The more you shadow these sentences, the more natural they will become. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been Elena from English in Moments. I am so proud of your hard work. Keep practicing, keep improving, and I will see you in our next lesson.